Hello everyone and welcome back to Music is My Boyfriend. So today's video is related to Britney Spears because I love Britney Spears. In case you don't know, I've been a fan of hers since the beginning, since 99. And, I supported the Free Britney movement. Obviously super happy that she's finally free from the conservatorship. You can watch all my videos about Britney on this channel. And I'm gonna watch, her sister's interview, Lynn Spears. I really don't want to watch it because I don't like her, but I'm curious to see what she says, and I'm just gonna, I guess, share my reaction. And I'm going to pause, at certain moments if I want to say something throughout the interview. So if you don't like pausing, don't watch the video. All right. Just a warning.
Jamie Lynn has a lot of her own trauma to unpack. She grew up in the same parents as her world-famous sister, a child star herself with similar pressures inside that star-making machinery. And for most of her life, she says she was pretending that everything was okay, even when things were terribly wrong.
Terribly wrong. Okay. Already, trying to make herself the victim and say basically the same thing that Britney said. Britney was saying the same thing, that I was pretending I was okay, I was lying. She said that, in her testimony. And now Jamie Lynn is saying that, it was the same with her. But it's why now? Oh, I'm already frustrated. The interview hasn't started. Why are you speaking out right now? And also just can we just she does not like the attention on Britney, obviously. It's oh no, Britney's getting attention. She's finally getting some good news. Oh no, I have to remind everyone I'm the victim. Oh my God. And also, Jamie, before I start, no one cared. No one cared about your interview. Why did you do this? We don't want to hear from you.
And she has kept her silence about so much for so long until now.
On her own path to stardom, Jamie Lynn Spears, a teen queen of Nickelodeon.
I had to go to boarding school.
Her own path to stardom, Britney being famous helped your path to stardom, not you. You have to admit that.
In the footsteps of her famous sister, pop star Britney Spears.
I adored her. I just really she felt like everything to me.
And this morning, Jamie Lynn Spears, now 30, an actress.
But it's just not that simple. And at some point, you have to own the path you're on.
Songwriter and mother of two, speaking out about the pressure she says came with the famous last name and her family's complicated dynamics in her new book, Things I Should Have Said. Why write?
Complicated dynamics? All right, that's an understatement. Okay, let's see. Her brother is sexist and just a jerk face. I don't know if you've known some of the horrible things that the brother did, so he's horrible. The dad, obviously, narcissistic, just a freaking loser, greedy. Mom, not a mom, really. Drugging her own daughter, saying that she had the devil inside of her, and obviously not coming to her, helping her throughout these 13 years of the conservatorship. That's understatement for sure.
This book now.
It was really important to me to, first off, honor my voice. I have to do it, or how else can I expect my daughters to stand up for themselves?
She details an unstable upbringing.
I think this video is gonna be just these frustrated faces mostly. Girl, don't lie. It's why now? Because it's publicity, right? Because you want to take the spotlight away from Britney, and you just saw your opportunity. You're being opportunistic, okay? How they stand up for themselves.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God! Stop fucking lying.
Upbringing, due in part to what she describes as her father's struggles with alcohol when she was young. According to
he was an alcoholic.
The New York Times, court documents show he attended rehab for alcoholism in 2004. She also describes a close bond she shared with her sister, who was 10 years older.
I felt like she was another mama.
Jamie Lynn says as the years passed, she noticed Britney's behavior begin to change. words that you've used in the book to
Oh,
describe
Selma
her
Blair.
behavior over your lifetime was erratic, paranoid, spiraling. How do you see your sister's state of mind currently?
I can't really speak to anyone else's state of mind. I don't think that's fair. But I'm allowed to say how I...
Okay, you just did. Oh my God, girl. Okay, you said you can't speak to someone else's state of mind, but you just described her as paranoid and erratic and all this other stuff. Oh my God.
But I'm allowed to say how I felt in those, because that matters. It matters that I was in pain.
Nah, no one cares.
2008, Britney was put into a heavily scrutinized conservatorship. Last June, before it was dissolved, Britney testified in court calling it abusive, saying, "I would honestly like to sue my family. And my family has
Support
lived
you,
off
Britney.
my
Yes.
conservatorship for 13 years." What was your reaction when the conservatorship was dissolved?
I was happy. First off, I don't understand. When it was put into place, I was 17-year-old. I was about to have a baby, so I didn't understand what was happening, nor was I focused on that. I was focused on the fact that I was a 17-year-old about to have a baby. I understand just as little about it then as I do now.
You talked in the book about
Wow, so you didn't even care enough about your sister to find out what she's going through? But you say you love your sister, right?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying.
the role that you were asked to play in the conservatorship.
There was a time where my sister asked me of her trust and will if I would be the person who assured that her boys got what they needed. Whether she's in a conservatorship or not, that was a very normal thing, I thought. Once I realized that, you know what, she's in a conservatorship, I felt like I just didn't want to be a part of until maybe she was out of the conservatorship. So there was no, me overseeing funds or something like that.
She was out of the conservatorship. Yeah, I don't think your family planned on ever letting that happen. So I don't really think that you were thinking about the end of the conservatorship. So I think that's a lie.
And if that was, it was a misunderstanding. But either way, I took no steps to be a part of it.
Jamie Lynn revealing for the first time she even tried to give Britney the resources she needed to end the conservatorship.
I've always been my sister's biggest supporter. So when she needed help, I set up ways to do so.
Okay, so when she needed help, I set up ways to do so. Really, you were her biggest supporter. Okay. Why didn't we hear from you? Supporting your sister about, if you really cared that much, you would be shouting it from the rooftops, I would think. If you have that platform and your sister is, also, famous, wouldn't you want to get people on board to help your sister or something?
Went out of my way to make sure that she had the contact
Okay, that I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but to me that seemed like she didn't know what she was gonna say. She was like, what should I say right now? She's about to lie. It didn't seem like a recollecting when you're just trying to just remember something that you did, you're recollecting a memory. This seems like more like I don't know, I just got that feeling that it was more of a line, she said to kind of buy herself time, okay, I have to make up something right now. I don't know, that's how it came off to me.
needed to possibly go ahead and end this conservatorship and just end this all for our family. If it's going to cause this much discord, why continue it?
So you didn't always agree with the conservatorship?
It wasn't about agreeing with the conservatorship. Everyone has a voice and it should be heard. So if she wanted to talk to other people, then I did. I set that up. I even spoke to her legal team, previous legal team, and that did not end well in my favor. So I did take the steps to help, but how many times can I take the steps without, she has to walk through the door.
There's been speculation of a rift. Many of Britney...
I don't know. To me, it's just a lot of repetition. Taking the steps. To me, it seems like, I don't know, just lying and saying things to make herself look good. And be more specific. If you took the steps, what steps? The contacts, okay. Also, in case you don't know, this interview is actually being filmed in Lou M. Taylor's house. In case you don't know who Lou M. Taylor is, she was kind of like one of the masterminds of the conservatorship. So if you really cared about your sister, why are you filming this interview in the house of someone that your sister hates? She says she hates, I don't know if she said hate, but like she does not like Lou M. Taylor, because Lou M. Taylor like was one of the people who pretty much ruined her life, at least, you know, for that period, and was behind the conservatorship. So like, Jamie Lynn, are you just dumb? Like, why would you do that? You think that's a good idea? Yeah, I'm going to film my interview talking about how I love my sister in the very house of the person that my sister hates, and try to like, in the house of the person who tried to steal my sister's money, and has probably stole a lot of it. Are you dumb?
Britney's fans attacking Jamie Lynn online, noting that Britney unfollowed her on Instagram.
Good.
Britney also posting last July that her sister's tribute performance at the 2017 Radio Disney Awards to remixes of her songs hurt her deeply.
Honestly, it was somewhat confusing to me about that, and I actually have spoke to her about that. And I was doing a tribute to honor my sister and all the amazing things that she's done.
But you've cleared that up with her?
I have cleared up with the fact that I don't think she's personally upset with me about that. Truthfully, I don't know why that bothers her.
Okay, that's kind of weird wording. She asked you if you've cleared that up with her. That's like a yes or no question. And instead of saying yes or no, she just like, I'm just reading the captions. I have cleared up with the fact that I don't think she's personally upset with me about that. It's a yes or no question. Okay. To me, that's just, again, just more words. Like when you're lying, you're just like, you're buying time. So you just say words. Sometimes, you know, sometimes when people are lying, they'll just say things and it's like, wait, you don't really make sense. So,
despite their complicated relationship, Jamie Lynn says she still has a deep love for her big sister. What happened to that love? What has caused this rift between you?
That love is still there, 100%. I love my sister.
Where are the tears, girl? You went like this, but there's like no tears. Trust me, I know. I cry a lot. I'm a crier, okay? And when I cry, tears come out. So I didn't see any tears, and it just does not seem genuine. She's like, I love my sister.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
Really? Does that seem like genuine? I love, just like looking around because you can't make eye contact because you're lying. Look right at the reporter's face. Look right at the camera and be like, I freaking love my sister. Okay?
I've only ever loved and supported her and done what's right by her. And she knows that. So I don't know why we're in this position right now.
No
She went on
tears.
to describe it as often trying to protect her sister to her own detriment, never really getting a chance to speak up for herself. You know, it takes great personal courage to talk publicly about your mental health and your family trauma, especially if your last name is Spears.
Yeah, especially if you're Britney Spears, who also has been speaking out about mental health and family trauma because her family caused her lots of trauma growing up. Yes, just like you, Jamie Lynn, but also because they put her in a 13-year conservatorship. So Britney has a lot of courage too. Why don't you mention Britney's courage? Like, first of all, the courage of just strength that she had to go through to endure that for 13 freaking years. Like, I just have to remind people, like, that is so long. Because I try to think about, you know, what Britney was going through. I don't know, obviously, everything that she went through, but just from what she says, and it's just like, I think, would I be able to put up with that for 13 years? And I don't think I could. Not even 1 year. I don't think I could make it. So Britney is so strong and so courageous, and I support her calling out everyone that hurt her. What would you rather have her do? Go beat them up? No. She's using her words, okay? And yeah, some people may think it's mean, but what freaking Britney went through is a lot more mean and horrible than what Britney is doing. So she freaking deserves to speak her truth, okay? Because she wasn't able to speak for herself for 13 freaking years. And Jamie, she could have, okay? She was under a conservatorship, so don't... Things I could have said, you could have, Jamie Lynn. You weren't the one in the conservatorship. You weren't the one being controlled. You could have said things in the last 13 years, but you chose now to release a book, very opportunistic. It's just dumb to me. Like, you just seem very dumb that you don't realize how bad this is going to make you look. You know, you couldn't just have some class, tact, and wait until later. Just be happy for her without needing to bring the attention to herself. Well, I was a victim too. Like, oh my.
Jamie Lynn is sharing details of her daughter's near-death experience, how it led her to a lot of painful truths and gave her the courage to share that truth.
Britney has the courage of sharing her truth.
Revealed she was pregnant at 16 in December of 2007. The intense scrutiny she faced rivaled the media circus that followed her famous sister's every move. I'm curious what you think about sort of the world, the paparazzi world of that time.
I look back and I think, wow, how is this acceptable? Why are you here other than to shame me and to benefit off of a young girl who's going through something already so traumatic and so deep and personal? We say we do better, but now we just go into the comments on Instagram and do it.
Before going public, Spears says she felt pressured by members of her family and management team, but she was adamant. You wrote, and I'm going to quote you, "The entire Spears team was already caught up in my sister's PR difficulties, and everyone around me just wanted to make the issue disappear."
Yeah, I think that the easy thing for possibly them would have been like, let's just get this over with, and like, you go back to being the perfect little sister, because that's your role.
Why do you think it makes you emotional still all these years later?
I just like, thank God that I
There's no tears coming out.
thank God I stood up for myself and said exactly what I wanted.
Eventually, Jamie Lynn says
Britney
she
couldn't
was
say
sent away to a
anything.
remote
She couldn't stand up
cabin
for
somewhere in the
herself.
Snowy Northeast to avoid the news. No phone, no contact with the outside world for weeks.
That time was, it felt like you're almost like suffocating.
Jamie Lynn left Hollywood to raise her, but when she was 8, a near-fatal accident changed both their lives forever. Maddie flipped an ATV and got trapped underwater for more than 6 minutes as Jamie Lynn frantically tried to rescue her. What stays with you from that day?
The biggest thought that I think stays with me, that haunts me, is that when I was trying to save her, when I thought that I'd lost her, I was so afraid that her last thought was, why didn't Mama save me? I just hope she knows that I was doing everything I could if that was the last thing that she lived, you know?
I do want to say that, obviously that was a horrible experience. That's very scary. Just anyone having to go through that and almost losing your child. So I definitely, I will say I do feel bad for Jamie Lynn for going through that. And sorry, it's really itchy right now. It's just the timing of this whole thing. You just had to release this book at this opportunistic time.
It's quite clear throughout the book that you've come to a lot of self-discovery, a lot of painful realizations.
So I think that when your worst fear happens, you get a lot less afraid of everything else. I think that it did. It made me reevaluate everything and who I was as a person and where I needed to be better.
Jamie Lynn is a song.
Well, I don't know if you've become that much better, according to one of your former co-stars from Zoe 101. So we'll get to that Instagram post in a little bit.
We should note, George, we reached out to her family and they did not respond to comments.
All right, so there's that interview. So I already kind of said my comments throughout it. I don't really want to repeat myself. I'm sure you don't want to hear me repeat myself. But I want to show you guys an Instagram post, in case you haven't seen it, by Alexa Nichols, was one of Jamie Lynn's former co-stars on Zoe 101. And then we'll get to Britney's responses. So let's see what Alexa has to say. Okay, so I got a lot of messages about Jamie Lynn Spears' new book. I was pretty surprised And then I think it's like the rolling eyes emoji. I was pretty surprised to see her line up a storm in there. I recently thought we were fine after she tried to use me in her Zoe 101 music video to make herself look better after I finally came out about what happened to me while on set / being left out once again during the reunion reboot ploy. To be honest, it took her a while. I'm guessing the pressure from others made her address the issue. I declined her offer. Why now? But I was happy to get an apology finally, so I forgave her. I unfollowed her shortly after because I felt that the whole Britney Spears family situation was deeply saddening, and once again I felt Jamie was being fake. Her reaching out all of a sudden felt insincere. Fast forward to a few days ago, she reaches out to me asking if she could send me a gift, which I thought was super bizarre after hearing the day before her sister unfollowed her. I have no idea what is going on over there with her, but I want absolutely nothing to do with it. Typical move for a bully to play the victim card / gaslight others while straight up lying. I responded to her and said, please do not send me anything and please stop contacting me. She never addressed anything that she mentioned in the book to me personally because she knows everything she is saying is a total lie, and I would have called her out on that, one-on-one. It's sad to see someone not change after all these years. See, according to someone who has worked with her, she hasn't really changed. Well, Jamie Lynn is saying that she's like trying to become a better person.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
So 13 years. Yeah, okay, maybe when you were 17, yeah, you know, having baby, that's fine. Maybe you didn't know that much about the conservatorship, but you're the freaking 30 now. Like, you didn't want to get curious. You weren't curious about what's happened to your freaking sister all this time. You didn't care enough. Like, maybe you cared, but you just didn't care enough to like help your sister. Like, I just don't understand, because I feel like if anyone I knew was going through something like that was close to me and I could do something about it, like, you have freaking fame, money, you could have done more stuff than I could. And if I was in that position, I feel like I would do everything in my power to help that person. Like, I just wouldn't be able to just sit back and watch them suffer. That's why it's really hard for us to believe you, Jamie Lynn. So, you can make up all the excuses and lies you want. It's just, you just didn't do enough. You didn't really seem to care enough. All right, now let's continue. This is the last image in Alexa's post. Nothing that she said in her book about me actually happened. I wish I could go back in time and tell my 12-year-old self that you are actually extremely lucky to not have a friend like her. You are way better off without her. You don't need toxic people in your life like that, and you deserve better. And that's the truth on that. I don't mind saying all the things I should say for free. Booyah! Booyah! She doesn't need to make money off of a book to say those things. And who's going to buy Jamie Lynn's book? That's what I want to know. Why are you going to buy it? Why? Why? Help her. Oh my God. All right. So now let's see Britney's responses on Twitter, because she posted some in the Notes app. So this was from January 13th. I think it's the day the interview went up, or maybe the day after, I'm not sure, January 13th. Britney starts talking about how she's kind of has like a fever, and the bodyguard is not letting her, like, I guess, go get medicine, or he's not helping her get medicine, and he's a jerk. Like, seriously, go help her, help your client. She's not feeling good, you a-hole. So that was messed up, but eventually Sam got her the medicine, thankfully. But then she says, okay, enough about my sick experience. Anyways, the two things that did bother me that my sister said was how my behavior was out of control. She was never around me much 15 years ago at that time. So why are they even talking about that unless she wants to sell a book at my expense? Really? Then where the lady mentioned, why did she accuse you of doing remixes to her songs? I know it may sound like a silly thing to most people, but I wrote a lot of my songs when my sister was a baby. She never had to work for anything. Everything was always given to her. If you were me, you might understand asking for 13 years of remixes to go into a small venue show and on tours. 13 years later, they assigned me as the mother of all, heart of gold. Britney sitting there seeing a 15-minute performance of everything I have ever wanted. But see, I always was the bigger person. They all got to do it and play me, and I always sat there and took it. But see, now it's a joke. The last thing I would ever do is ask for what was just given to her. So yes, they did ruin my dreams. I do remember asking my sister why she did that when she knew I was waiting to change my show, and her only words were, well, it wasn't my idea. Hope your book does well, Jamie Lynn. I won't be doing Instagram for a while. The media, the business has always been extremely hateful to me. Yep, that's true. I've given enough, more than enough. I was never given back ever what I want. They say in the Bible, ask and you shall receive. Not in my life. Just like my family, I asked for security for a leave as I laid there with 104-degree fever in bed, and he told me no. My family ruined my dreams 100 billion% and tried to make me look like the crazy one while I have a 104-degree fever, not being able to move in my bed. My family loves to pull me down and hurt me always, so I'm disgusted with them. Well, it's 101 degrees now, and I feel like my head is 2 basketballs because it's sore from the fever last night, and I also honestly don't feel like crying anymore because crying makes it worse. Actually, it's like I'm on the edge of reason. I want to sleep, yet my mind keeps wandering. Then it doesn't care again. I close my eyes for 20 minutes and then that's on repeat. My throat is sore and the last thing I will ever ask to see in my life is a doctor. I mean, would you if you were me? Just saying. Psst, lesson learned from all this. Don't trust people or anyone. Make your cats and your dogs your family and take care of your own dang self. I agree, Brittany. I agree. That's how I am too. Because I've learned in my own life that you can't really trust a lot of people. So I just take care of myself. So I feel you, Brittany. Now she posted again the next day, January 14th. So let's see what she said then. Jamie Lynn, congrats, babe. You stooped to a whole new level of low. I've never been around you ever with a knife, or would I ever think to do such. The only knife I ever saw you with at home was cutting the biggest pieces of squash I ever saw in my life, and it was way too big for me to cut. So please stop with these crazy lies for the Hollywood books. Now, and only now, I do know only a scum person would make up such things about someone. I'm actually very confused about you making that up because it's honestly not like you at all. Around the kids, Jamie Lynn, seriously? Come on. Congrats on introducing your older sister the concept of getting low, lower, lowest, because you win at that one. You win on that one, babe. I don't remember, that wasn't mentioned in the interview that I just saw. Like, I heard about that Jamie Lynn, like, mentioning something about how Britney, like, went at her with the knife, but where did I miss something? Because it wasn't in the interview I saw. Like, if someone could send me that clip, that'd be cool, because it wasn't in the interview, so I don't know where that's posted. Okay, guys, I'm like trying to find this other part of the interview, and I can't find it, so I'm just gonna give up. Just gonna read Britney's post because I can't find that part of the interview. I don't know where it was posted. Jamie Lynn, I don't think your book is about me at all. I said some harsh things because you obviously hurt me by the things you're making up about me. When I said only a scum person would make up things like that about someone, I could have sworn I said, but you're not. But it doesn't make sense at all to me what you're saying. I know you worked hard for the life you have and you have done amazing, but I think we would both have to agree that the fact that the family has never been remotely as hard on you as they have been on me. Yeah. Exactly. What dad did to me, they don't even do that to criminals. So for you to sit back and act completely aloof to what has happened to me is honestly insane to me. Do you know anyone who worked as hard as I did and the hours I put in during those 13 years only to be sent away for 4 months for no reason at all? And I won't even mention what was done to me in that place. It took them years to give me a cup of coffee. People who have killed people and are in jail or on death row can have as much coffee as they want. So why the heck was my own family hiding coffee from me? You guys treated me like nothing, and that's not even half of it. I'm honestly shocked. Dad isn't in jail. Come on. We are supposed to have each other's back, but what you're saying just truly confuses me. All I know is I love you unconditionally, so go ahead and say whatever you want. It's so tacky for a family to fight publicly like this. You say you love me, yet your loyalty is still with the people that hurt me the most. Yeah, like Lewim Taylor, like freaking filming an interview at Lewim Taylor's house. I think the thing that saddens me the most is that when this all happened to me and when I called you from that place, you would take days to respond. Yeah, wow, you really seem to care. Jamie Lynn, you really seem to care about your sister. I never got to talk to you. You would just text me days later and I was so scared. I needed you, my family, my blood, and your support more than anything. You guys did absolutely nothing until a year ago. I said something on Instagram and you and Brian showed up at my house because of an Instagram post. That makes me the saddest. Why? Because I needed you way before that. And the fact that you and Brian showed up laughing at my gate instead of knowing you should have been here way before that makes me very sad. See? Like, I feel for Britney, like, oh, she's right though. Like, it's like they only cared because she called him out publicly, I guess, or, you know, yeah, because of an Instagram post. Like, if you truly cared about your sister, you wouldn't need freaking social media to get you to do something. And apparently you weren't even nice about it if you were laughing at her gate. I don't care anymore. Say whatever you want to say. Just know I do know your real heart more than anyone. It's your life and you deserve a beautiful life. I wish I would be able to do what you're doing and do interviews. I'm scared of all of it. I admire you for being strong, but you're stronger, Britney. You're way stronger. Just know I love you, and I think you know that already more than anything. Okay, now that I'm reading this, I think this was a response to something Jamie Lynn posted, but, you know, I don't follow Jamie Lynn, so I didn't really know or care what Jamie Lynn posted, but I heard that like Jamie Lynn posted something, so I guess that was in response to Jamie Lynn. And now we're gonna look at Britney's Instagram. Let's read the harsh words that Britney has for her sister and her mom. I flew home to Jamie Lynn on the couch watching her TV shows right after Justin and I broke up. I was a ghost there. I had worked my whole life and I didn't know how to be served by mama. Sit there and get served the chocolate milkshakes with the perfectly crushed ice with the secret chunky sugar. Meanwhile, Jamie Lynn is 12. She indulges with the TV for hours, then goes to lay out on the raft at the pool. I'm in shock because this was never my life. Justin's family was all I knew for many years. Things were different now, and Jamie Lynn had a Nickelodeon show. All I remember saying was, dang, how the hell does a 12-year-old land a Nickelodeon show? Yeah, Yeah, because, you know, Jamie Lynn just really worked hard for it. You know, the fact that her having a really famous sister had nothing to do with it. Well, I never got my iced chocolate drink. I mean, yeah, I'm grown up, right? But then maybe I might need a little support. It was a People magazine cover. The People showed up, and as Jamie Lynn says, I was scared. Yeah, my mama was on pain medication and could barely hold a conversation in the house because her and my dad split and she was more messed up than anything. I remember her sitting on the floor in a conversation and she never got up. And I'm sorry, Jamie Lynn, I wasn't strong enough to do what should have been done. Slapped you and mama right across your effing faces. Yeah, so I'm glad Britney is telling us how she really feels. And I know some people, I'm so mean. But like, do you understand what Britney went through? And do you understand for 13 years she couldn't speak up for herself. She couldn't say her truth. She had to just like, everything's great. So yeah, she's letting a lot out. Okay. This is her process. She's like, she has to let this out. And yeah, some people just, if you don't like what Britney's posting, don't follow her. Okay. I support her because she has been through so freaking much. So yeah, she deserves to call people out, let it all out. I'd rather have her just post stuff like this than, you know, do something violent. You know, it's like, you have to let that out somehow. She's kept so much in. So, you know, you people complaining, you know, well, excuse you. Okay. You didn't have to go through what Britney had to go through. Okay. So she's letting stuff out. So if you don't like it, don't freaking follow her. So that's all I have to say about Jamie Lynn's interview. I think she did another one where she's talking about Justin Timberlake, with Access Hollywood. I didn't know she was doing more interviews. I thought it was just Good Morning America, which was like bad enough because like, who cares? We don't care. Jamie Lynn, can you just go away, please? Like, why do you have to always bring the spotlight to yourself? You can't. Oh, she had to go on Access Hollywood and I think some other podcasts. Like, the fact that she's going on with this like press tour. Like, first of all, you think releasing the book now is a good idea. Not very smart. So what's going on, Jamie Lynn? Like, you're not very smart. Do you not understand how bad this is going to make you look? And then not only doing the Good Morning America interview, but you're just keep doing more interviews. Like, wow. So selfish and dumb. Like, and you don't understand why people don't like you. I might make another video reacting to her interview about Justin Timberlake. I guess talking about him. So if you want to check that out, check it out. I'll post it here. But it's just, watching her gives me a headache. Like, oh my God. Follow my social media if you like. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would really like to know what your thoughts are. Also check out Observe, his YouTube channel. He did a video, analyzing, Jamie Lynn's, body language or just was it body language, or I don't know, just her behavior. And he also did another one about like her video, her Instagram video. I haven't watched his video on this, about this interview, because I wanted to kind of share my thoughts before I saw his video, but I'm definitely going to watch it. But I know it's going to be good. I don't need to watch it to know his videos are good. So check him out if you kind of want to see kind of the body language angle and see what his thoughts are on maybe like how fake she is. So I'll post a link probably somewhere here or in the description below. And again, if you want to follow my social media, you can. Please share your comments. I love you, Britney. Support you. And just let it all out, girl. Call everyone out, because everyone deserves to be called out. You've been silenced for so long, and I support you. And Jamie Lynn, just no words. I'm tired. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.